What if I told you that behind all the headlines about India and the USA being strategic partners, there's also a silent trade war happening? From steel tariffs to agriculture duties, both countries have been slapping taxes on each other's products, affecting billions in trade. Why are India and the USA caught in this tariff war? And more importantly, what can India do to avoid more retaliatory tariffs? Let's break it down, understanding the trade relationship. First, let's talk numbers. India and the US have a trade relationship worth over $120 billion. India exports pharmaceuticals, textiles, IT services, and in return imports machinery, oil, and aircraft from the US. But despite this, both countries have frequent trade disputes, leading to tariffs and restrictions. And it all started years ago. A brief history of India-USA tariff wars. The modern trade tension started in 2018, when the U.S. imposed a 25% tariff on Indian steel and 10% on aluminum under the excuse of national security. Then, in 2019, India was removed from the Generalized System of Preferences, GSP, a program that allowed duty-free exports worth $6 billion to the U.S. In response, India imposed tariffs on 28 U.S. products, including almonds, apples, and walnuts, directly impacting American farmers. But here's the thing, this wasn't just about India. The U.S. has been using tariffs aggressively against multiple countries, including China and the EU. Why does the USA keep imposing tariffs on India? Now, why does the U.S. keep doing this? Well, there are a few reasons. First, protecting American jobs. The U.S. wants to limit competition in steel, textiles, and agriculture to protect its own industries. Second, the trade deficit with India. India exports more to the U.S. than it imports, creating a $30 billion plus trade deficit, which the U.S. sees as an imbalance. Third, pharmaceutical and tech issues. The U.S. has concerns about India's drug pricing policies and data protection laws, leading to trade conflicts. And finally, pressure from local businesses. American industries often lobby for higher tariffs on foreign products, including those from India. So the big question is, how can India avoid future trade retaliation? What can India do to avoid more tariffs? India has several options to protect its trade interests. Let's look at them one by one. First, strengthening trade agreements. India should push for a free trade agreement, FTA, with the U.S. There's already ongoing discussion in platforms like the Indo-Pacific Economic Framework, IPEF, which can be leveraged for better negotiations. Second, leveraging the World Trade Organization. India has filed disputes against the U.S. before and can continue to challenge unfair tariffs. The WTO has ruled against some of the U.S.'s past tariffs, which India can use as leverage. Third, diversifying export markets. India is already expanding trade with Europe, China, the UAE, and Africa. The more trade partnerships India builds, the less it relies on the U.S., reducing its vulnerability to tariffs. Next, boosting local manufacturing and self-reliance. With Make in India and PLI, production-linked incentives, India is strengthening domestic manufacturing. If India exports more high-tech products like electronics, semiconductors, and EVs, it can reduce its reliance on traditional industries that get hit by tariffs. And finally, negotiating sector-specific deals. Instead of a full FTA, India can push for lower tariffs in key sectors like pharmaceuticals and textiles. The U.S. is also looking to counter China's dominance, which India can use as a bargaining chip. The future of India-USA trade. Despite the trade battles, both India and the U.S. need each other. The U.S. needs India's IT, pharma, and skilled workforce. India needs U.S. investments, technology, and defense partnerships. And with global supply chains shifting, more U.S. businesses might look toward India for manufacturing. So, while tariffs may continue in the short term, there's hope that smarter negotiations and diversification can reduce trade conflicts in the future. Final thoughts. What do you think? Should India fight back against U.S. tariffs, or should it focus on better trade deals? Share your thoughts. And if you found this breakdown useful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into global trade and economics. See you in the next one.